Hey everybody, it's July 29th. It might as well be 100 degrees out here. So I started my Apiguard treatment a couple of weeks ago. I did 2 of the half doses, so 2 doses of 25 grams. And then I went out of town for a weekend. So I didn't do the 3rd treatment, which is, not what I would recommend to anybody. But I wanted to come back and just check some of my hives to see how the mite count was. My general method of treatment is I make some oxalic acid pads, and those are generally on the hive in the fall and in the spring. And then I do my big treatments in the summertime and in the wintertime. So Apiguard being my big treatment in the summertime. I've checked 3 hives now. So I've checked this hive, I've checked that hive, and I've checked this hive right here. And so what I did was I picked hives that I knew during the year were the strongest, biggest hives. Generally, you're going to say if a hive is big, if a hive makes a lot of brood, then they have a chance to have a lot of Varroa mites. So those are the hives that I looked at. I just kind of picked 3 random ones that I knew were big during the year. Out of this hive, so after 2 treatments, that's 2 weeks of Apiguard half doses. Out of this hive, I counted 1 mite. Out of this hive, I counted 1 mite, and out of this hive, I counted 0 mites. I've actually got all the bees dumped out on the table because I'm gonna actually count the bees that I killed. We don't like killing bees, right? And I've actually ever done a mite check in this yard. I've always just treated, but I wanted to do it just to see how my mite loads were looking. So I'm gonna go back and count the bees that were killed. This is the 3rd. This is from the hive down there. This is the 3rd one. You can see it's a pile of bees in there, and you're not gonna be able to see anything in here, but I can look in here and say that there are 0 mites in the bottom of this thing. You see probably a bunch of stingers and some trash, but there are no mites in the bottom of this. So anyway, I'll probably cut in another video here after this one just to show you the mite counts from each hive and the bee counts from each hive. Would I continue treating after counting 1 mite? I would say you're probably pretty safe. So anyway, you'll probably see a short video cut in this showing my bee count and some numbers. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking a heaping scoop of this. This is a half cup heaping scoop, dumping it into here. This is said to be about 300 bees, which it is. I got pretty close to 300. The first check, so just to kind of show you, this is about what 50 bees looks like. I know you're not going to get a good focus or anything, but that's about 50 bees right there. So this complete check had 338 total. There's my 1 mite over there. You can see it there. It's not going to focus, so I might as well not even worry about getting close to it. Looking at the percentage, so this is what you look at when you do these checks. Basically, I have 1 mite out of 338 total. That gives me 0.0029 mite load, which is 0.29%. So 0.29% mite load. So like if I had about 3 mites here, that would be about 3%, or that would be about 1% load. So I've got 1 mite out of 338, which is about a 0.3% load, 0.29% load. I'm not going to count the rest of these. I'm going to pretty much assume that each one of these is about 300 to 330 bees. 1 mite here. This was the second check that I did. There's the mite right there. And this is the last check I did. I shook it a bunch, decided to see if I could get any mites out of it. I did not get any mite fall out of this check here. If I were to do this total and take 2 mites out of a little more than 1,000 bees, you're looking at about a 0.2% load, which is pretty good. It's pretty small. Would I continue to treat? Personally, no. I'm not going to continue to treat. I would rather you do as I say and not as I do. I'd rather you do the entire treatment. Especially if you're a beginner beekeeper, go do the complete treatment. I'm doing some other things on the back end, like treating in the off season, that kind of stuff. So this type of load right here, plus what I saw when I looked at the brood frames, everything looked good. These mite counts are very low. So I'm pleased with this. Again, I'll start another treatment in the fall, probably sometime around September. I'll start my oxalic pad treatment going into the wintertime. I hope you all got some good information out of this. Thanks.